Today, another look behind the veil. Hello again, it's Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics, writing the latest post covering finance and property news with a distinctively Australian flavour. Now, you may not know, as well as the work that I do for Digital Finance Analytics and in the interest of the people, I also have my own video production company called Walk the World. And in fact, that's where Walk the World comes from. And that provides a range of services, including making corporate videos, training, and corporate events. Now, as part of the development of that part of the business, I have been making some changes to the kit that I've been using. And today, I'm going to share with you my latest and greatest purchase, because we are moving into a new world of production where the production values need to be significantly more enhanced. And I'm finding that the Sony FS5 that I've been using for the last few years is now running out of smoke. So today I'm going to share with you the unboxing of the Sony FX9, which is a high-end video camera, but the specification fits really well into my workflow and will enable me to make better quality videos and to have quicker turnarounds when it comes to the production side of things. And in fact, production turnaround time is probably as important as anything else, not least because this particular camera has a very, very nice picture straight out. It doesn't require any processing or any manipulation, which means that I can turn around videos much more quickly. So let's have a look inside the box. Lots of cardboard. Jasper's helping, by the way. That's the old retriever. So what have we got there? Nothing. So we have a book of instructions and other bits and pieces. We have a USB cable. We have a battery charger and a power brick. The power brick, by the way, is the same as used for computers. Interestingly, a very weird voltage, 19.7 volts, so that's going to create a few interesting challenges, but hopefully we can get around them. More cardboard bits. So here we have the eyepiece assembly, which is meant to be a better quality construction relative to the one which was on the Sony FS7 II. I had looked at that camera previously but decided it wasn't sufficiently appropriate for my needs, so I decided to go with this particular one. And that's got a higher quality monitor and also an eyepiece for those who want to use the eyepiece. Generally we make most of our films on tripods, so we don't tend to use the eyepiece that often. More cardboard. Yet more cardboard. That includes a battery. The good news is that I have a stock of batteries from the FS5, and those batteries are directly transferable to the FX9, so that's going to be quite useful. And I suspect that we may be using more power because this particular camera is about 35 watts, which is more than double the FS5. Then we have the arm, which is the piece that allows you to control the camera, and what they've done is they've used the handheld piece from the FS5, or similar design to the FS5 now for this particular camera, again different from the FS7. We have a power cord, always useful I suppose. Another power cord. And then we have the camera itself. So there we go. One camera body. As you can see, it's got the slightly grey colour compared with the black that was on the pre-production version and indeed on the FS5. It's got the new locking ring on the front, which gives a much stronger connection point to the lenses. It's got the variable ND, which is one of the things that I think is really, really good. It really helps when recording and adjusting for depth of field and also light levels. It's got four inputs of audio, and that's very important because quite often I'm actually recording more complex audio than just a single feed, and that allows me to have two XLR audio in on the body, and it also allows me to connect another hot shoe on the top and have another 2 channels. So that's 4 channels of audio, each controlled by a separate audio button. That's going to be really useful. Now this particular camera takes the XQD cards, so they're going to go into there. There's also an SD card for utility purposes, but it doesn't really record high quality audio to the SD card, so it requires a different set of media, but that's not too much of an issue. The top handle comes off if you want to take it off quite quickly. There's an Allen key, there's some Allen key adjustments there, but generally I'll keep the handle on for most of the reasons. So there we are. That is the new camera, and that will allow me to make high quality videos for my clients and to ensure that the production values are as best they can be. So I've already got my favourite lens. This is the lens that I've been using for quite some time. In fact, this particular lens is a f4 28-105 full frame lens, and was going to work really well with this particular camera. I use it quite often with some of the small cameras that I have, but of course with the FS5, because the FS5 is not a full frame camera, you don't get the full benefit of this lens on that particular camera. So there we have the lens on the camera, and looks pretty good to me. So we'll go and charge the battery up and then we'll give it a go. Okay, so I've now put the monitor on as well, which fits quite nicely. They've got a well-designed square rod now, which stops the eyepiece rotating, which is what the FS7 used to do when I occasionally had to use one of those. So this feels a lot more solid, and the cable routes quite nicely out of the way as well. Lights coming on, and it's immediately come on. That's very impressive. Certainly works from startup very quickly. Doing that, we're just putting the basic configuration in English. Yeah, you have to get a bit used to the way the menu system works, and a little bit of adjustment with the little 4 arrows there, not quite obvious. All right, well, the good news is looks like it's focusing pretty well, and it's zooming in and out fine. I have to say that the screen is remarkably clear for its size, and it's got very good resolution. So initial impressions are that it's as good as I hoped it would be, and it's certainly very well balanced. That's the other thing I noticed with the this lens. It's very easy to manipulate. So I think that's pretty much it at the moment. We've got some more setting up to do. Put a base on so that we can put it on the tripod, but I'll do that off camera. Okay, so just before I finish, this is now on the new camera. You can see the autofocus working. It's actually very powerful, so if I move around, it continues to track me. It's very, very powerful. And if I walk a long way back, it still follows me, which is really good. At the moment, I'm displaying the on-screen information as well, so that you can see the effect of the autofocus. The colours look pretty good, and this is using S Cinetone, which is the recommended configuration for straight out of the camera work. This is now at 2 meters. 3 meters. And at 4 meters, and it's still tracking me. I can see quite clearly the box is around my face still. That's pretty remarkable. And as I walk forward, it's controlling it very nicely. Little test here. I've got the other camera that I use, so it's just focusing on there. Now you can configure it to follow face or only, but I haven't done that so far. So that's very good. So I'm very pleased with the performance. This is just so much more powerful than the FS5, because frankly I could not use autofocus on the FS5 for simple reason that it would not reliably track. This advanced focus system is just so much more powerful, and it will make my life so much easier when I'm actually recording for commercial purposes. And just to finish, this is a piece of clean video without any of the other on-screen camera information, so that you can see what it looks like. The other studio setup is behind, of course. What's nice about it is you get the narrow depth of field. So even with an f4 lens on a full frame, it looks pretty good to me. Yep, I'm very pleased with this purchase. I think it will make a huge difference to my production values, and hopefully it will enable me to get more work. So there we are. I think that's the end of the unboxing. Very exciting times. This will be our new A camera for all our commercial work, and I'll use the FS5 as a B camera now. It's still quite good, but it doesn't have anything like the autofocus. The beauty of this particular camera is that it has very, very good autofocus, and that can track people and do all sorts of things. It's quite configurable, and that makes it very, very useful for the sort of work that I do, where, for example, you've got a talking head, but the talking head moves around a little bit, or at a conference where you've got multiple people that you want to capture. So I think this will be a very good investment. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. It's something a bit different today, but you know, a bit of a glimpse of what we do behind the scenes here. I'm Martin North from Digital Finance Analytics. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.